Hey man, how's it going? You alright? So look, I just woken up from a prophetic dream. Please pray about this dream and weigh it up with the Bible for yourself. Now in the dream, it was the end of days, end of day disasters. Like in other words, we had already bugged out. And I was with my family. I don't remember what happened in the day in the dream, but what I remember is the bit that's really important to share with you in this video, is the end of the day. So, literally, my family, my brother Jamie, my brother Nicky, his wife, and their daughter, my niece. And there were others there that I considered to be very close family and friends. And so this is the bit of the dream that's the important bit. So we had arrived back from what I know was the end of the day in the dream. And we arrived at our camp. When we got to our camp, everybody went to their areas, you know, as if this was like second nature, you know. And so I went to the camp and I went to look for a task to do. And straight away, I went towards the river and my brother Jamie was standing there. He had a fishing rod and he had some bait on the line and he was casting it into the river. And then he was reeling it in like this and then again casted it. And I saw the bait go into the river and he was trailing it along in the water. And I thought, oh, he's bound to get a bite any moment on that, like, you know. It's true, like, you know. And then he pulled the line out and he was like getting some tin foil and stuff and attaching it, like feathers sort of thing. And I thought, yeah, maybe that would work. I thought that's quite a clever idea. So he's got bait on his hook and he's got a makeshift feather line, you know. And again, he casted it out. I was standing there watching him and I thought, well, I don't need to do fishing. That's covered. Jamie's reeling it in and casting it again and reeling it in. So I thought, well, I'll leave him to that. And I thought, right, what else can I do? So I turned around and I went towards the fire. And there was my brother Nicky. You know, there wasn't any questioning about it or anything. There he was, fully focusing on the fire. And he was like, he was adding fuel wood to the fire. It was already raging and going and he was keeping an eye on it. His wife was standing there and she was just sort of looking at the fire and, you know, looking at it as in, I don't know, she was just sort of looking and you could see that she was active there to help out, you know. And he was standing there looking at it and building the fire up and he had like a, sort of like a spit roast with a cooking pot coming off it onto the fire. I thought, well, that's good, that's the fire sorted out, so I don't need to worry about that. And at the same time, my brother and his wife were keeping an eye on our niece. She's very young. She's like 4 years old at the moment in real life. And she was about that in the dream. So I thought, well, that's the fire done. And then I walked to like another side of the camp and there was a person there that I considered to be close, as in family. And they were sorting out water purification. And I was looking at the water purification and I was like, well, I don't need to do that because so-and-so's on that. So that's good. And I was just looking around the camp for tasks that I needed to do. Now, at one point I stood there and as I was looking around for anything I needed to do, like I say, my twin brother, he was still fishing. My other brother was maintaining the fire and his wife was looking after our niece as well as trying to help out with the fire. I turned around, there was another person on water purification. And I turned around and like there was another person collecting fuel wood for the camp. And I turned around and like everything, as in the camp tasks that needed to be done, was people were on it. And everywhere I looked, everybody was on it, working on it. And there was no complaining, there was no arguing. You know, it's like we had got back from the day of doing whatever we were doing and people straight away was on it, like second nature. You know, imagine if you, like, coming out of the dream for a moment, imagine you've been at work all day, like, you know, because that's typical of most of us. We go to work all day or whatever. Even if you haven't, and you come back at the end of the day to your home, you know, you get dinner on the go, don't you? You get in the kitchen, you think, well, we're going to have this tonight, so you start preparing the food, you turn the oven on, you start chopping up vegetables, putting it in the pan and all the rest of it, and you start cooking it. You know, you don't argue about it, you don't complain about it, you don't think twice about it, you just do it because it's normal life, you know. Or if you need to go to the toilet, you come in and you go to the toilet, or say, you know, or others within your family may come in and go into their bedroom and go on their phone or a laptop and you do these normal everyday things without even thinking about it because it's living. You're living your life, you know. Well, it was exactly the same at this camp. We turned up, it was primitive, there was primitive cooking going on, there was fishing going on, there was like, as in a primitive sense, like there's a primitive camp without modern day technology, and every like area within like sustaining the camp, within living, was covered. And I was sort of walking around and I was like, there's nothing I can do because all areas are covered. And I thought, well, I better go and find something to do. And also within the camp, it was common knowledge that everybody pulled their weight and did their bit, you know. There wasn't anyone saying, do this. It was like everybody arrived and knew which areas needed to be done, you know. And so as I was standing there, I then, in my dream, heard our Lord say to me, Danny, record this and put this onto YouTube. I was like, whoa, yeah, that's a good idea, because right now the whole the camp is functioning, like, you know. So I went to quickly go and grab my phone, and I turned round to my brother in the dream, and I said, look, carry on doing what you're doing, you know, you're fishing. And I said to my other brother, you know, you're building the fire and you're maintaining the fire and cooking and stuff. And I said, look, I'm going to film you, just pretend that I'm not here. Okay, and they were like, yeah, fine. And they were like, well, what do you mean? And I said, look, just pretend I'm not here, just carry on as normal, like, you know. Okay, so when I grabbed my phone, as soon as I came back again and started filming, my brother Jamie did his usual thing. If I say I'm filming, he then runs in and goes, hi, you know. Oh man, so annoying, like, you know. He did that in my dream. And then my other brother was sort of like, oh, hello, you know. Yeah, but the point is, right, I didn't know I was dreaming. I thought I was really there. I now understand I was to record this dream. Here I am, I'm recording what happened, like, you know, awake. But I thought I was really there in the dream, you know. Like I've explained this before, dreams and visions that I receive from our Lord are very vivid, like you're really there, you know. And so, yeah, but this was, dream complete, this was an end of day camp, and everything was fully functioning, fully working in every area and department, and there was no complaining or whining about it. There was no questioning. Like, everybody got back to the camp and it was sustained and operating, and people were surviving. Like my family was surviving in this camp easily, with no trouble at all, no worries. And so, yeah, I'm sharing this dream with you. Please pray about it and weigh it up with the Bible for yourself. We can easily achieve this end of days camp and survive. I'm really talking to you right now. We can easily achieve this. And in the second link in the description is the Christian Community's Complete Survival Guide. It's everything you need to know about our end of day camps, how to prepare, how to plan together, basically plan using the survival guide with each other, how to bug out, and how to actually survive out there. Yeah, I do recommend very strongly that you get yourself a copy, because it really will make things easier for you, and planning with your community, just everything. It just makes it so much easier for you. So that's in the second link in the description. Alright guys, you be safe, I love you, I'll see you again soon. Bye bye.